Hi, and welcome to another edition of Seniors Today. I'm your host, Tom Bartee, and our guest today, our fabulous guest, is Mr. Jeff Trager from Trager Productions. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Truly fabulous. Isn't that kind of like a Hollywood thing?
I hate Hollywood.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a San Francisco guy.
All right, well, what do they say there? Cool man? Heavy? Anyway, thanks for being on the show today.
Sure.
You know, we've had you on before, and we talked about a lot of things. You qualify as one of our guests that has the kind of interesting life that could be 3 or 4 shows. And so we're not all the way there, but today we discussed talking a little bit about Vallejo and some of the music that's come from Vallejo.
Sure.
And some of the groups that have come from here would be, wasn't it Sly and the Family Stone?
Sly and the Family Stone.
Members of Tower of Power, weren't they from Vallejo at some point?
There might have been. There might have been.
Some of the blues musicians have come and gone through Vallejo.
Yeah, a lot of them. I know there's a lot of great musicians that came out of Vallejo. Still are.
Yeah. And then the generation of rappers like E40.
Yeah.
And I don't know if any of his other buddies were from Vallejo, but
There's.
how about Drew, the Drew Band? Did they ever make it to the big time?
No, never heard of them.
Oh, okay.
No, but it's hard to make it. I mean, it's really hard. You know, everybody wants to be a star.
Uh-huh.
They want to play either on the stage at the Apollo, or they want to play at the Fillmore West, or they want to play festivals, and you know, it's a great life.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, do you remember the Keystone in Berkeley?
Oh, sure. It was owned by Freddie Herrera, a good friend of mine who just passed away.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, he owned the Keystone in San Francisco, and he also had a place down the peninsula too. Freddie, that was the place. You know, Tower used to play there. All kinds of great bands used to play there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that for a while the manager at Berkeley Keystone was from Vallejo, a guy by the name of Bobby Reynolds.
Don't know Bobby.
Uh-huh.
Don't know Bobby.
Anyway, his sister, I'm going to try to have her on the show at some point, but I'm digressing again.
Yes, that's okay.
So, years ago in Vallejo, I, with the help of the city and of CCRC and the Main Street program, I started a Wednesday night celebration of our beautiful city called it Wednesday Night Celebration. And we used to do 18 weeks in the summer, and we would have 2 to 3 bands every night. And at one point, we had this guy named Wilson bring his daughter in, and she was 12 years old, a real dynamo up on stage, and she really had the crowd in the palm of her hand at 12 years old, and her name was Gabby Wilson.
Now she's known as HER, having everything revealed, and she is. You can call it the flavor of the month. It's not the flavor. It's going to be. She's the kind of girl that's, you know, she's written a couple hundred songs, so she is the biggest thing right now, or one of the biggest artists. She's one of the biggest new artists. She won 2 Grammys, and then from there.
That was in the most recent
Yeah.
Grammy production.
And then the next thing I know is she was front and center at the tribute to Aretha Franklin. She did I Say a Prayer for You. I think that was a Bacharach song. And she came out with her guitar, and and she was great. I mean, she was just like, and you could see the audience, all the people, the stars, and all people in the music business, Clive Davis and all the people, they loved her. You could just see it in the look in her face, like we're seeing something new.
Real talent too, natural
Real talent. Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's a natural, you know, and she's big. I'm not kidding. I mean, she did 2 shows at the Warfield where she sold it out in San Francisco, and Snoop Dogg showed up in E40, and all kinds, all the star power. They all want to be around the next big thing. They want to be part of it, you know. But I hear she's still hanging around with her grammar school buddies. That's her posse. But now she's 21, and she is gonna she's making a lot of money. She's gonna make a huge amount of money, you know, because she's gonna be going over. She's gone overseas. She's gonna go over there. Wait till the Japanese and discover her, and different countries.
She becomes an international star.
Yeah, yeah. And she'll be making probably a couple $100,000 a night. A night.
Wow.
Yeah. There's so much. Well, you know, there's a lot of things that, you know, you have merchandise to sell, and when I go into the malls and I ask I know when somebody's the buzzword, because I'd ask the girls at the counter. I says, "You ever heard of her?" Go, "Oh yeah, she's the coolest." So that tells you, you know, just what people think of her, the young people. But you know, when I first met her, I was so impressed with her, because all she wanted to do was talk about the artists that came before her that were, you know, successful, like Nina Simone and early Aretha, Dinah Washington, people like that. That's what she wanted to talk about, you know. That's interesting. Dinah Washington, when she was like 14 years old, and you know, it's interesting to hear somebody to be able to, you know, acknowledge what came before them and what was really successful. I think she's going to have a career like those artists, because their success lasted 30 years plus, and that's the ultimate, you know, goal for any artist. Forget the one hit. You can there's a million one hit artists, but you know, to have a career like that, I mean, her whole life has changed.
Yeah. And she's only 21.
She's only 21.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for her to have a 30-year career, she won't even be 50.
I think, well, no, I think because she's a good writer, okay, and because her head's screwed on right, she's going to stay in the arena. And I got a feeling that she's going to be playing at the halftime at the Super Bowl one day. I really do. I mean, she's that kind of an artist. You know, her mother was Filipino. Her father was African American. She's got that great look. You know, Disney loved her when they first got involved, and she signed a big contract, and now it's all paying off. You know, her first record that she put out didn't exactly make it, but that's why it's so hard to get that right song. So she went back in the studio, and then she got a co-writer. She wrote most of the stuff that she's recording now, but she went and found the songs, the right songs. It was like when Tina got What's Love Got to Do with It and Private Dancer. You know, it's all.
Well, you had an up close relationship with Ike and Tina, right? Or Tina then Ike.
Yeah, and the two of them in the late '60s, and after she left Ike, nobody would sign her. Nobody would sign her.
Oh, she's so talented too.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, this girl, this woman, I mean, she raised 4 kids in the middle of all that craziness with her. You know, I have so much respect for her, you know. And she was the biggest thing ever, you know, and she must have gone on and made $100 million at least, you know.
So Gabby, you said, has done close to 200 songs, you think?
I think so. When I met her, she said I've written over 100 songs.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so her first album had
Well,
15?
She hasn't recorded her first album, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, but what it was digital downloads, and she's huge, huge.
So what were her 2 Grammy songs?
Oh God, I forget.
All right, yeah.
No, but they were good. They were right. They were hits.
Yeah.
You know.
So she has several hits on the pop chart or whatever chart.
Well, she was. She had a lot of downloads. You know, that's how they. If you like a song, you know, and people can download the song. So she hasn't put out her first album yet. You know, and when she does, it's going to be huge. That's when she's going to make her money, and then she'll make her money as a songwriter, because that's, you know, through the publishing. That's what it's all about. That's where you make your money, and touring and merchandising. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, the brand HER is going to be so marketable.
I don't know who come up with the idea of putting sunglasses on her, okay, but and hiding it and coming out with a new name, but it was brilliant. It was brilliant. All of a sudden, she's a new artist. It's you know, there's little gimmicks and stuff like that, you know. Who walks around going, my name is HER? Well, it doesn't make any difference, but it does draw a lot of attention. And she's got it. She's like a combination Sly, little Hendrix, and vocally, she's got a beautiful voice, you know. I mean, she's got great, I mean, sure, she's got a lot of people around her that I guess she listens to other people, and that's how she's created this new image.
So what do you think it is about Vallejo that gives it the opportunity to produce so many musicians? You think it's a working class city? It's a melting pot. It's diversity. I mean,
yeah. It's the diversity has a lot to do with it. You know, there's so many kids out there that want to be musicians, and this is a great little city. I've just grown to really admire. You know, I come over the hill from Fairfield, and you take a look at that view, and it's really something. It's you know, you get a lot of bad rap about the city, but it's a city. It's intense. It's got, you know, I grew up in San Francisco. You know, there's a lot of similarities between the two. There's a lot of people in Vallejo. A lot of people like music. You know, even in the worst of times, people will buy music. I mean, buy entertainment. That's what they want. You know, music has that way of drawing people even in the worst of times.
Yeah, well, you know, we have a couple of clubs that do jam night. They got Gentleman Jim's, you got Kessler's, and there's others. And, you know, you're not going to...
Chris's Club?
Chris's Club.
I used to go in there every Monday night and see Ronnie Stewart and the Blues All-Stars, West Coast Blues Society All-Stars.
Yeah, whatever the name of the day is.
Yeah, it's an interesting little place.
But we get people. I've been to some of those places just to check it out, and I've done some karaoke, you know. But I know E40's dad plays at Kessler's all the time,
Does
and
he?
yeah, he's a local hero. And there's people that come up from Oakland. There's one guy that plays, who he plays with his toes because he's crippled. And the last time I saw him, the people he was with picked him up and laid him down on the
board.
pool table.
Okay. Yeah.
And they hooked him up, and he played the lead guitar and a couple of numbers, and then he was tired, and, you know.
Well, I did a fundraiser for a friend of mine, Herman Wilson, a sax player from Suspects of Soul. You can see Herman in the group, and you see a lot of great entertainment at the lounge right next door to the Empress every Wednesday night. I mean, really good jazz, blues, and when I did this fundraiser for Herman, the guy showed up, and they brought him in on a board, and he did that. He played with his toes.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
yeah. I mean, I
Unbelievable.
was amazed, and he was good.
Oh yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of great.
And he sang. He sang too.
Well, I didn't hear him sing.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, it was. I mean, you're there in this open mic night, and all of a sudden somebody brings a guy in, and he's playing with his toes. It was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, it's nice what Jim Kessler's doing, and it's nice with it gives the bands a place to play. Okay,
Yeah.
whether they're good or not, you know, it still gives them the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, there's a lot of guys that play guitar and play piano, and guys like Johnny Ramos. I don't know if you know Johnny. Johnny plays at all those places.
Yeah.
You know, but he's a good musician.
He's a piano player.
and a guitarist.
Yeah.
And James Early, who worked with Hammer. I think he produced.
With MC Hammer.
Yeah, I think he produced that record. James is a great. His mother has a show and his brother have a show on OSCAT on Sunday nights.
Yeah, Johnny has his guys do the open mic at both Kessler's and Gentleman Jim's, and he does sort of a karaoke, but you can either use his band or you can use the karaoke.
Yeah, as long as Johnny's playing.
Yeah, as long as he gets to play.
Johnny's playing.
Yeah, he likes to be involved.
No, it's great to see that.
Yeah, well, you know, it's just like an unsophisticated Greenwich Village type of thing,
Yeah.
where it's impromptu and you know, the starving artist and up and coming people, they have a place to practice or showcase or whatever they're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, even on Monday nights, you'll was the Townhouse downtown? I'm not sure. They have music there on Monday night. Don Bassi goes down there.
Yeah, yeah.
But then you have across the water, you have Mare Island, and there's all kinds of things going on in Mare Island. You know, every Saturday, Vino Godfather has music in the afternoon, and I mean, I brought in Pete Escovedo, and I brought in Daquila. Daquila is was known as the Filipino Santana back in the 70s.
Ah.
And we get crowds in there, you know, we'll get up to 300-400 people on a Saturday.
Well, when does the Vino thing pick up again? Because didn't they?
We're starting back again.
So in May or?
In May, yeah. They had a group called Cut Loose played last Saturday, and they must have been 200 people there. It's the weather.
Yeah, it's the weather.
It gets people out.
But it's a beautiful setting, right there.
Gorgeous, and it's not as. What's nice about it, it's not as hot as say Fairfield or Vacaville.
Yeah.
See, it's comfortable. And it's beautiful. Look at the views. You know, go up to the golf course there and see that it's magnificent up there.
And the people that have Vino are really gracious hosts and good people to work with.
Yeah, no, Twyla and Frank are they're you're exactly what you're saying. You know, they're really nice. But Frank's from San Francisco. I love working for those guys. You know, I help them out. It's more bring them bands. That's what I do, and it gives me something to do on Saturday. I go there on Saturday, and then Saturday night I go to Sticky Rice, or I book jazz there on Friday. Saturday night they have music.
Well, they have music a couple nights a week, don't they?
No, just on Saturday.
Just
nights.
Saturday?
Yeah, but I get Dalt Williams from Vallejo.
Yeah.
He comes and plays, and he's got marvelous Marcella hooks, and I get to bring some really good talent into Sticky Rice, and all kinds of people want to play there. I had Janice Maxie Reed, and who worked with Lionel Richie and Stevie Wonder. She's a voice teacher, and she plays there. Where Tony Lindsay comes in and sits in. Carlos Reyes, a phenomenal violinist, harpist. He comes and plays. A lot of people come in and sit in.
Does he do jazz violin?
He does everything.
Yeah.
He does anything, you name it. When Zach Brown band was playing down the peninsula, 20,000 Shoreline, they brought him in as a special guest, and he can play anything. This guy, he's a child prodigy.
Yeah. What do you think about this year's lineup at Bottle Rock?
There's some great talent. The guys that took over that Bottle Rock, it's Neil Young. Come on, are you kidding me? Stevie Wonder. What was it, a couple years ago? You know, it's great. It's you know, because at first it just didn't click, and the guys that invested just didn't do it right. But somebody came in and did it right, because
there's the Latitude people,
it's
right?
Really well run.
Yeah, and I know we got involved a little bit in trying to help them with integrating the wineries and wine tasting and stuff like that into the event. It worked out pretty well.
They put it on the map.
Yeah.
They put it on the map.
Yeah.
It's great to see that.
So going back to Gabby, do you know anything about how she got started and the history of that situation?
I know that her father was in a band, was in several bands. Her father helped her out quite a bit. I believe he's a guitar player. He was in a group called the Urban Bushmen, and he taught her a lot. But he let her do it on her own, because anybody that can play guitar, bass, drums, and keyboards is a phenom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do you do that? But she does it all.
And all well, yeah.
All well, and then you write, and that's. But it all comes down to the person themselves and how, because everybody wants to make it, okay? And this girl just from day one must have just had it, and like I said, it's really hard to make it. Like I said, her early stuff was not successful, but then she
reinvented herself.
She reinvented herself, but
yeah.
she had the goods. It just took the right songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's like ball players. You know, for every Sabathia, there's how many guys make it.
Yeah.
So hard.
Yeah. Well, we have some history there too in Vallejo.
Oh yeah, now you got a kid out of C.J. Anderson who's doing wonderful things in the NFL.
He's going
and he's giving back to the community.
Yeah.
That's, if I was Gabby, which I'm not, I'd set up a scholarship or two, you know, come back and give back to the community.
Yeah. Well, I'd be willing to bet you that that's coming. You know.
It'd be nice to see.
Yeah.
It'd be sad because when you're that big, people take a lot of pride in the fact that you're from the area. It gives people it gives anybody hope that they can make it.
Well, I was talking to somebody the other day about this, and we were saying, you know, you got C.C. Sabathia and his foundation, you got C.J. and what he's doing, then you got Jeff Gordon,
Yeah.
you got Natalie Coughlin, and you got Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
And if those people were able to get together and do something collaboratively, look out, it will be huge.
Well, it'd be nice to have a big festival somewhere in Vallejo where you could get all your artists from the past and from the present to play and have a Vallejo extravaganza.
Yeah, well, I'd love to be a part of putting something like that together. You know, we have enough people that have done events here over the years. I remember working with Ronnie and the Blues Festival. We did that on the waterfront, and the Jazz Festival with Christy and Carol. And Christy's retired now. So, you know, I don't know how much arm twisting it would take for her to get back into it. But
well, I know somebody, and you know somebody that probably would. But
yeah.
You know, I'm just a latecomer to Vallejo, but you have to give back to the community in some way, no matter where you live. Because I've been in this business for 50 years, I can put on shows, and I lend myself to. You know, I'm helping the city with the Waterfront Festival for the third year, and I've done this is my fourth year with Juneteenth. So I've been able to put on, bring in a lot of local artists. So that's been fun.
Where are they going to be setting up this year? They're back behind the library?
Yeah, right behind that. I think it's the 16th of June, I believe.
Yeah, same as the Pirate Festival.
I know.
I know they don't like that, but it's a big draw for Vallejo.
But it's getting better.
Yeah.
See, and the people that run it are trying to better every year, make the entertainment better, make it good entertainment.
Yeah.
They appreciate that.
Yeah. Who's ahead of the Juneteenth this year?
Oh God.
The Margaret or
Margaret Plum.
Yeah.
Margaret Plum.
Yeah. Cool.
But that's great. If I can do that, that little part, you know, I'm more than happy. And the situation with the waterfront's great. I'm doing I also got asked to do the Solano County Fair, the small stage this year, and I'm bringing in CRSB, which is really a great little hip hop group that from Vallejo.
Cool.
They're terrific.
Yeah.
They're terrific. And I've got Alvon Johnson, and I've got several other artists.
Yeah, Alvon has been all over the world now.
Yeah, he goes to Europe, and they've got
They love him over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's great. He's a great guitar player.
Yeah.
He's a good singer too.
So we're out of time. Do you have any last quick blurb that you want to share with us, or?
Well, I think that covers it. I've got a couple of shows coming up. I do shows at the Downtown Theater too, in Fairfield. I have the tribute to Johnny Cash and the tribute to the Rat Pack.
Wow, that should be fun.
Yeah, that's one. And
so people can check on your website to pick all that up?
Yeah.
And what's your website again?
JeffTragerPresents.net.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Trager. I appreciate you being here again.
And I always enjoy this.
Oh, thanks. Well, with that, that's all the time we have for today. Our show airs Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. on Comcast 27, AT&T UVerse 99, and streaming live video at vcat.tv. Come see us again next time.